So shloka number 45. Traigunya vishaya vedaha nistraigунयो bhavarjuna nirdvando nityasattvasthaha niryogakshema atmavan. Traigunya. Traigunya means he says that it is pertaining to the three gunas or the three modes of material nature. Also, we call it the samsara. So, the three gunas, I think you all must be familiar with it already. The sattva guna, the rajas, and the tamas. Sattva is basically knowledge and peace. In the 14th chapter, we are going to go through in very much detail. But just here, very briefly, Sattva Guna is being in knowledge and peace. Rajoguna is being attached to action and having lots of desires. And the Tamoguna, which is basically moham or delusion and inaction. So these are the three gunas. He is talking about the Traigunya. So he is talking about these three gunas. Traigunya Vishayaha. Vishayaha is the subject matter. Vedaha. Vedaha is talking about the Karma Kanda part of the Vedas. So he says that the first Karma Kanda part of the Vedas is talking about the Samsaara, or the Samsara is also being described as the three gunas. Samsara means nothing but bondage. What is causing us to be born? We have seen that Samsara, we also said Raga, Dvesha, Samsara, because it's binding us. And we said that the clinging and the resisting is also Samsara. Whatever is binding is called Samsara. So these three gunas are the Samsara. So Nistraigунयो Bhavarjuna. Nistraigunya means basically be without these three gunas. Bhava, be Arjuna, O Arjuna. What happens actually is these are the three gunas, the tamoguna. So people who are predominantly in tamoguna, they can't suddenly go to sattvaguna. You have to raise yourself to rajas, to activity. Then from rajas you will go to sattva, and he will talk about leaving 14th chapter gunatita. That means you have to transcend all the gunas. Eventually you will have to transcend. But we all have a combination of all these gunas. Nobody is pure sattva, or nobody is pure rajas, or nobody is pure tamas. These all will be there in various proportions, but the proportions may be varied. So first of all, you have to raise yourself one step at a time and proceed. And when he's saying that Nistre Gunyo Bhavarjuna, because we are all just entering this karma yoga, he doesn't say transcend all these gunas. That is not the interpretation here. The interpretation here is Nishkamo Bhava. Be without any desire. Be with Vairagyam. Vairagyam means what? To control yourself from these worldly objects is Vairagyam. We saw that. So that is his first instruction. Then he says, Nirdvando Nitya Sattvastaha. So Nirdvandaha Nitya Sattvastaha. Okay, Nirdvandaha means what? You should escape the duality of what? Like and dislike, raga and dvesha. That again is samsara. So these three gunas are the samsara. This raga dvesha is also the samsara. And then he says nitya sattvastaha. Sattva is the best of all the gunas. If you are going to be peaceful, if you are going to be seeking knowledge rather than objects, that is much preferred rather than sleeping, wasting your time, or being very desirous of things and being pushy all the time. Sattva is a preferred mode. So he says, be in sattva. Be in sattva, nitya sattvastaha. Be situated in sattva guna. Niryoga. Yoga means what? Basically, gain. And shema means protection. So we are all after what? Getting something and protecting something. Krishna will say in chapter 9, he will say the famous Ananyas Chintayanto Man Yejana Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. So very nice story is there about this. So what basically in that shloka Krishna says is, the person who's thinking of me all the time, I make sure I take care of his needs. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. That is this fourth point that Krishna is saying. Fifth point he is saying is Atmavan Bhava. Atmavan means be established in the self. Be established in the self meaning be very careful. Be careful meaning don't go into delusion, which is tamas. So, how we have to read it is Atmavan, be careful meaning stay away from tamoguna. Niryogakshema is pertaining to rajas. That is because always acquiring, protecting, running here and there, desiring, all this is rajas. Don't do this yoga and shema. And then nitya sattvastaha bhava, be in sattva. Then also be nirdvandaha. That is, be free from the pair of the opposites of this raga and dvesha. Then nistraigunyo bhava. Be nishkamo bhava is what we are interpreting it as. Later we will go to say how to transcend all these gunas. So this is the meaning of this shloka. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these modes. That is, for now, leave the desire, nishkama bhava, and develop the vairagya. Be free from all the dualities as well, and from all the anxieties for gain and safety. Be established in the self. So, next shloka. यावानर्थौदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः. Yavanartha udapane. Yavana means in all that, artha means in meaning, udapane. Udapane means a well of water. Sarvataha, sarvataha means in all respects, samplutodake. Samplutodake means a big reservoir of water. So what he is saying is, all the purposes of the well are met by a big reservoir of water. That is, if you have a big reservoir of water next to you, you will not need a well. You will not go searching for a well. Tavan, similarly, Sarveshu, in all, Vedeshu, all the literatures, the Vedas, Brahmanasya Vijanataha. Brahmanasya means the man who is established in Brahman. Brahmanasya Vijanataha means who is in complete knowledge, the person who knows. So, what is he saying here is that just like the purpose of the well is very well served by the big reservoir, the purpose of the Vedas served by the person who is self-realized. So all the karma kanda is contained in the jnana kanda. That's what he wants to say. That whatever this alpa sukha you are running after, it is contained in this moksha sukha. You don't need to run after these small things in your life. Once you have got this moksha sukha, you will not want it at all. So don't go after these small objects when there is a big thing like this big water reservoir is there. Why are you going after this small well? That is what he wants to say here. General translation is all purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served easily to the one who knows the purpose behind them. Now we are going to the most quoted shloka in Bhagavad Gita. Everybody will be knowing this definitely. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. We will look at two ways. One is like, this is called the Lakshanam of Karma Yoga. This is got the content of the Karma Yoga and also is a simple advice to Arjuna and everybody. So two ways in which we will look at this. Karmani iva adhikaraha te. So what he says is karmani is your prescribed duties. Eva certainly. Adhikaraha is actually right. Te of you. So what he is saying in the first line is you have the right to your duty only. But we can interpret it as a choice. He's talking about the choice that we have in doing our duties. So, what are the choices we have when we are doing our duties? We can do our duty, we can not do our duty, we can do the duty in any way we want. So, those are the three choices we have. So, he says, you have the right to do your duty only, Arjuna. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So ma is never, phaleshu is the fruits, kadachana at any time. What he is saying is you do not have the right or the choice for the phala. Now we will see why. Because why he is saying that you have the choice for the duty but not for the phala? The phala is actually a consequence of many factors. For example, you are bringing up your child, you are doing your best for that child. But it is not necessary that the child turns out well. Suppose the child goes into bad habits. So what are you going to say? I did everything, but this child is not going in the right path. So that will be your rationale of thinking. But actually, we are very foolish to think that we are the one determining the fruits, because in Mahabharata also Draupadi will cry to Yudhishthira and she will say, see, you said you are talking the truth, you are so honest, you follow the dharma, and you ended up in the forest. Whereas Duryodhana, who was so bitter and cruel and he had all the bad qualities, he is enjoying himself in the palace. Why? So for that, Yudhishthira will give the explanation about the karma. Then after some time, Draupadi herself, she is well versed in this karma and destiny. So she will advise Yudhishthira about, because a saint had once talked to her and father about destiny. So in that she will give an advice to Yudhishthira. So what she will say is there are three factors determining the results or the destiny. One factor is your prayatna or your effort. Okay, whatever effort you do is the prayatna. The second factor that determines is what is your prarabdha. It is administered by Deva, but take it as prarabdha karma. So second factor is your karma. Because whatever you have done, the prarabdha karma will also act on it. We don't know. That is the second factor. Third factor is chance. You don't know when that prarabdha karma will act. You are doing something, you don't know that that your bad prarabdha karma is going to act and hinder this prayatnam that you are doing or not. So there is a margin of chance also there. So there are three factors. So eventually, when we take this example that you bring up this child, see how many factors are playing in there. Your effort, your prarabdha, your chance. Child's effort, child's prarabdha, child's chance, environment, place. There are so many factors determining the result. So, when we say that we have done something and the result has not come, it is foolish for us to expect it. That is why Krishna says you do not have the choice over your result, because there are too many factors. It cannot be explained at all. Nobody can explain what will come when. If your prarabdha karma is very compelling, if it is your karma is bad, whatever you are doing now may be hampered. So we cannot exactly say that this will be the result. But there is one reconciliation. What is that reconciliation? You can talk about the prayatna part. So the prayatna part, what will determine that is your attitude before you do the karma, not after you do the karma. Before you do the karma, what is the attitude with which you have done it determines the result of your prayatna. That at least we can get 100% marks. In prayatna, we can get 100%. but it may not fructify at that point of time. But how do we talk about that attitude? There is a robber who goes and he kills somebody and he takes his belongings and he steals the money. Whenever we talk about karma, we talk about two things. One is the drishta palan and one is the adrishta palan. So drishta palan is what we will see and what is immediate. So for the robber, what has happened? Money he has got in his hand. That is the drishta palan. So he has got this $100 with him. He got it. But in that adrishta palan, which is not seen, he got a negative mark. He got the papa. So that papa will come to him maybe in this janma or later, we don't know. But that is what is karma. But however, there is a doctor. He does an operation, he wants to save the patient, but the patient died. So in the drishta palan, it's negative because the patient died. In adishta palan, because he did it with the right attitude, he got the plus point then. He got the punya. So whatever is the prayatna that we do, we can do with the right attitude to get a better result. That is the only thing we can control. In karma, when we do the karma, we have a choice of what? We have a choice of doing it, or you can just say, no, today, whole day, I'm going to sleep. I'm not doing anything. That's also a choice you have. So, not doing is also a choice. And you can do it in the right attitude. And you can do it in any attitude. That is the choice you have. But the fruit of it you cannot determine because it is got so many factors. We are foolish to think that we can control the results. That is why we go wrong most of the time. So we have to leave out that fruit and we have to focus on that prayatna part. That is what he is saying in this first line. Then he says, Ma karma palahetur bhuhu. So ma again never. Karma pala is the result of the work. Hetu cause and bhuhu become. So there are two interpretations again for this line itself. The way you arrange the words, it gives two meanings. So first meaning we can take it as ma never, never the result of your work become the cause of your action. If you put it as action, the result of the work should never become the cause of your action, is the meaning for that. What does that mean? Whenever you are motivated by the result, what happens? Duality, raga, dvesha. I like victory, I like this, I want this to happen, I will come, then bondage. So, if you think about the result, that means you will get bonded. That is why we have to avoid thinking about the results and we have to put our focus on the attitude and the prayatna part. So that is the first phrase of the second line is talking about bondage. The second way to interpret it is never become the cause of the result of the work. So the four words never, result of the work, cause, become. If you put it the other way, never become the cause of the result of the work. That means what? Don't think that you are the cause of the result. What we think, like even in that child example, you thought that you are bringing up the child. Oh, I brought this child up so well, that means I have to be applauded. Oh, this child is nice means because of my effort. If the child didn't do well, sometimes you may blame others, or sometimes you'll think, why it didn't happen? I did everything. If you think you are the cause of the result of the work, again, what happens? Bondage. You are doing something, kartrutva. You become the karta of that work, you are in bondage. I will cause you to bond, and it will cause this papa and punya to be debited in your account, and it will cause the bonding, and it will keep you in the samsara forever. And then he says, Ma te sangostva karmani. Ma again never, te of you, sangaha is attachment, astu is should be, akarmani, not doing it. So what people will say, okay, if I get up and I do things only, Papa and Punya is coming to me, I'm going to go into this bondage. How about me just lying down and doing nothing at all? Then I won't get any karma. Krishna says, no, I know you people will think like this. So I'm telling you in the shloka, no, that is not an option. Either can you run away, nor can you be without doing anything. That also is one of the conditions Krishna has put. So those four things is what did we say? First is he says you have a choice over the action. Whether to do it, whether to not to do it, whether to do it in any other way, your attitude, all that is your choice. You do not have choice over the results because why? It is a combination of several factors. We cannot control it. Third thing he says, don't get bonded to this karma. He is going to talk about how to remove yourself from the bondage, how to keep your mind so that you remove. That is coming. But now he says, don't think that you are the cause of this karma palan, or don't let not the results of the karma motivate you. And the fourth thing he says is, do not doing the job is not an option at all. You have to do your job. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of the action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results, or let not the results motivate you, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Say there is another interpretation of this is that he is just giving it as an advice to Arjuna and all of us. So in that what it means is karmanyavadikaraste. He says to Arjuna, Arjuna, you are not yet fit or capable for jnana. So now for you the option is only to do the work through karma yoga. So karmanyavadikaraste, do your work only. And ma phaleshu kadachana. So in ma phaleshu they will add a word called spriha, which means desire. So don't be desirous of the results. Ma karma palehetur buhu. For that the interpretation is that use the karma, because karma you can use it to get what you want, but karma doing it in the right way can purify your mind. Arjuna, purify your mind through karma yoga and then get the capability or get the capacity for you to move to jnana yoga. So we saw that this is a step by step process, right? Karma yoga, purity of mind, then move to jnana yoga, then move to moksha. So that is the three steps. Purify your mind through karma itself, using that as an instrument to move to jnana yoga. And mate sangostva karmani, don't run away from this battlefield. You should not, you should do your duty. So that is the other way of interpreting it. Okay, next shloka also very important shloka. This is again Karma Yoga Lakshana. So 47 and 48. So these two are describing the Karma Yoga, high level view of the Karma Yoga. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Explanation itself is straightforward, but there is background meaning. Yogastha. Yogastha means equipoised in this yoga. Kuru karmani. Kuru means perform. Karmani means your duties. Do your duties. How? Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Sangam is attachment. Tyaktva is give up. Dhananjaya. So do your duties giving up attachment. We are going to see how. Siddhya asiddhyau samaha bhutva. Siddhyaha asiddhyaha. Siddhyaha means success. Asiddhyaha means failure. Samaha means equal, same, equipoised. Bhutva, becoming. So you become equipoised in success and failure. Samatvam yoga uchyate. So what is it? Samatvam, equanimity. This is the word that you will hear in Bhagavad Gita. Dvandam, pair of opposites, and samatvam, equanimity. So two words always recurring. Samatvam, equanimity. Yogaha. Yogaha is the karma yoga is talking about. Yuchyate. It is called. What he is saying is, perform your duties equipoised, O Arjuna. abandoning all attachment to success and failure. Such equanimity is called Karma Yoga. Now we are going to see the background meaning. Whenever we talk about Samatvam, we are talking about two things. Karma, for the karma, how to be in equanimity, and for receiving the result, how to be in equanimity. So these are the two things only. The main idea is when I'm doing my karma, how should I be? And when I'm receiving the result, how should I be? If you condense all the teaching of Karma Yoga, it will just come to 2 points. So first point is Arpana Buddhi. And the second point is Prasada Buddhi. Prasada Buddhi means receiving from Ishvara. Arpana Buddhi means giving to Ishvara or the Lord. So only two things it is compressed into these two concepts. So we will see how and how we can implement it. Duties itself, it has got, we now divide. In detail, we will see in the third chapter. But if you just generally see, there are duties which we call kartavyam. And then there are this kamya karma, which is the desirous acts. There are only two things happen. So what happens is that for us, even in these duties we have this raga dvesha. Duties are things that we must do, and kamya karma is optional. I want to go for a walk, I want to watch this movie. All this is optional. It is not a must required. So this kartavyam, this duties itself, I have this like and dislike. How? Okay, in the house, maybe I like cooking, I don't like cleaning. This both are my duties. I have like and dislike, or the other way. I like to go out and work, and but I don't want to be in the house and cook. So, first point is remove the draga dvesha from this kartavyam. Whatever comes to you, you must do it with equanimity. So, that place, what you can do is you can have this prasada buddhi. This is a duty that Ishvara has given me. Okay, COVID time, I have to scrub the toilets. Fine. This is the prasada of Ishvara. I have to do it. No problem. So that is his first point. The second thing is now the results of it again, right? So you do everything with equanimity, but then your child throws something at you, is misbehaving, whatever happens that day. Then you think I did everything properly. Even I thought in my mind I have to have equanimity, but see this person is behaving like this. Oh, the nobody is doing anything in this house. So we get that tendency also. So for that, what we should think again, Arpana Buddhi you should have. The results we give it to the God. We will dedicate this to the God. So today, whatever duties that come to me, I will do it with my best of abilities, and then whatever comes, the result of it, even it can be good. Somebody praised me so much, I did very well, or somebody even said, oh, she didn't do a great job. I will dedicate this to the God. So that way, you kind of get an equanimity in that also. So the first point is whatever in the duties itself don't have any likes or dislikes. Second thing, the results that come from it, you dedicate it to the Lord, and whatever the results that come from it, you don't want to be attached to it. Third point is very important. Whenever you are doing a duty, there is along with it, tied with it is something called the right. You go to the office and you work, that is your duty. What is immediately attached to it is the right, is that I will get paid. Similarly, for the employer, what happens? What is his right is that he can extract the work from you. And his duty becomes he has to pay you. So this right and the duty always will go hand in hand. If you do something for your child, then the child, your right is that the child will do, that is, will take care of you in the old age. This right and duties go hand in hand. So what happens because of that is big problem for us. Whenever we do something, we immediately, subconsciously in our mind, we know we have a right. That is what we call expectation. So this expectation, so I've done something for somebody, that person didn't say thank you. That right, I have the right, he has to say thank you to me. And then we get this expectation, and then that is a downfall for us. So to avoid this, what we have to do is again, we have to think that whatever I'm doing as even my duty for my child, for my office, for my husband, for anybody, for my mother, father, is only the duty and the right I'm sacrificing to Ishvara. He will take care. Even if that person didn't do what we always say, I did so much for this person and he didn't reciprocate. So, what we should say at that point is that Ishvara will take care of it. I do not need it from this person. Exactly that same thing he has to do to me is not necessary. What I am doing is because of my own duty. What I am doing is to take care of this person. But I do not want any right from this. I give this right to Ishvara. Let him determine, and I'm sure that Ishvara will grant me the necessary whatever. If I've done a good thing, he is the one who will grant me. So, these expectations can be avoided with this Arpana Buddhi. So, if you use one of these two Buddhis, then we are saved. So, first point was no raga and dvesha for any particular kartavyam that we have. And the second is to give up those fruits of the results. And the third thing is to give up the rights that come with the duties. These are the 3 points in the duty part. Now we have to go to the kamya karma part. Kamya karma is things we do for our own desire. I want to eat this, I want to go here, I want to buy this. All this is coming out of desire. So, what they did was okay, you are all grihasthas, you do have a right to enjoy, I am allowing you. But how they are allowing in our Shastras is with prasada buddhi. Okay, you want to eat modak, you can eat modak, but do it for the sake of God. You want to eat Mysore Pak in Diwali, go ahead, but you go offer it to God. In that way, the I is removed. That is why they had so many festivals. You can enjoy all these, but saying the name of God. By saying the name of God and doing it, you remove yourself from this bondage, from this karma. So there you should have this arpana buddhi. Whatever you do, whatever you make, whatever you eat, whatever you drink, if you are giving it to the Lord, then you are not in bondage. You are also enjoying. You enjoy it as a prasadam. That is why the sanction is there. But this kamya karma sanction is there only if you offer it to the God. If you go and do things for yourself, it is not sanctioned. That credit debit is happening to you only. So this is what we have seen in this shloka. So the 4 points we need to make very clear. So first is we saw that no dislike or like for any of our duties. Second thing is give up the results of those duties, be equanimous in the results. Third thing is that give up your right that comes along with the duties that you do. The fourth thing is for kamya karmas, offer it to the Lord. You can only enjoy it if you offer it to the Lord. दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्ध्यो शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणाः फलहेतवः. Durena means discard it or keep it at a long distance. He certainly, avaram means all these disgusting activities. Avaram karma activity, buddhi yoga dhananjaya, by following the karma yoga. Discard all these duties using the karma yoga. Dhananjaya, buddho sharanam anvicha. Buddha, in this kind of an attitude, sharanam, surrender fully, anvicha, try for it. Otherwise, what happens? Kripanaha palahetavaha. Kripana are the misers, are the people who need to be pitied. In the Upanishads and all, it is said that Kripanaha are those people. It seems if you cannot go in the path of knowledge or you don't realize the Brahman, they are called Kripanas. They are like misers, they are like very pitied people, to be pitied. Phalahetavaha, those who are desiring the fruits. So, what is he saying here? Oh, Dhananjaya, keep all these disgusting activities. far distance by using what? This karma yoga. People who enjoy the fruits of the work, what are they called? Kripanaha. They are only misers. So keep all these desires very far away from you.